Hey guys, this is a single leg DVD. This is the most effective takedown in the entire world, bar none. And this was my #1 go-to takedown all the way through high school, all the way through college. So I'm going to show you my own little spin on the single leg. I got a lot of little tricks in there that I like to work, like to go to. But I promise by the time you're done with this DVD, if you follow it step by step, you are going to be unstoppable with the single leg. We just talked about our setups, but one thing a lot of people don't talk about that I think needs to be discussed is timing. Setups are all about timing. Every single setup I do, there's a perfect time to shoot. There's too early, there's too late, and there's the perfect time. Okay? As we get higher in skill level, so as we go from youth wrestling, high school wrestling, to college wrestling, to Olympic level, the amount of time on either side of that perfect time where your shot's going to work, it gets really small the better you get. So as my setup, for example, if I'm doing a snap here, as Max's foot moves with my snap, there's a perfect time to shoot. So there's a perfect time to shoot. And if you're not paying attention to that perfect time, if you just think, oh, I can snap them and then shoot whenever, it's not going to work. Like the one thing I see a lot of high school kids do is they get a good setup, they wait, and then it's no longer a good setup because we're past the time at which you should have shot. So for example, if I fake him and his leg comes back and now I try to shoot, way too late because his foot's already been replaced, he's got his balance back, he's going to sprawl me when I shoot. So we have to pay a lot of attention to timing when we're setting them up, and really as I get older, all the kids know the same setup, or all the men know the same setups. It's who can time them the most effectively in a manner which allows you to get to the leg. So as you're working through these steps, really make sure you're paying attention to the timing of them. Here's some specific setups from the double biceps position that I like to use. Get to my double biceps. Remember, always leave low. I don't just come up and try to grab them, so I leave low. Boom, I get to my double biceps. Okay. The first one I really like to use is the fake single to the single. So fake single, as it comes back, I shoot to it. If I'm faking the same leg I'm shooting, I need a pause in the middle. So it's fake, pause, shoot. Fake, pause, shoot. So what I'm waiting for is it's going to take time for his leg to go back and then come back to me. So I'm giving a little pause in the middle there in order for his leg to come back and me to be able to attack it. Obviously, if his leg goes back, it can't stay there. So if I need to give it a little assistance coming back, all I'm going to do is a little pull of my triceps. He's coming back, and that's when I can shoot on. Okay? Another one here is a fake high crotch single. So I fake my high crotch, there's my single. Okay. On the high crotch, when I fake the high crotch, you want to fake the opposite leg. So I fake high crotch and single, there's no pause, it's a fake shot. Fake shot. And if you notice on both of these, my fake is not a huge motion. It's a big mistake a lot of kids make, is they try to make these gigantic motions on their fakes, right? My fake is a really subtle, small motion, but it's enough that he's got to respect what I'm doing. So it's just a small one, okay? Over here, it's a small one. Not a big motion, it's a small one, it's a quick one, and it's allowing me to make that next step to the next move really quickly. Okay? Also got my snap, took the double biceps, got my snap, so when I'm snapping, coming to the back of the neck, I'm rolling my hand off, get ready to attack the leg. Right there. So here, snap, shooting right into the leg. Okay. Last one from the double biceps, putting two of those together, and this was my go-to shot in high school, a little bit through college, and then I got a little different in college, but it's a fake snap. So I fake the leg back, come off the head snap, then I penetrate underneath. So fake, snap, shot. Fake, snap, shot. Now, notice, right here, I haven't talked about this yet because I'm talking about setups. Every time I'm shooting my single leg, good position. So good position on a leg attack is head, shoulders, hips, all in a line. Now, am I going to get here every single time when I shoot the match? Probably not realistic, but I can drill to this good position, and that way, even if I end up in a little worse position in math, I'm still in okay position to finish my shot. So notice when I'm shooting, good, strong position. Okay, so one more time on the fake snap. So I fake, snap, shot, right there. So that was the 4 setups I used for my double bicep tie to get to my single leg. Another setup I really like for the single leg is my reverse wrist setup. So what I'm going to do is as he comes to grab me, I'm going to go bicep, reverse wrist, roll it out. So as he comes to grab me, I got my bicep here, I attack the wrist, reverse it right there. Now all I need to do is open up a little space for my shot. Open up that little space, there's my shot. The big mistake kids make is they think they have to open up a gigantic space, so they think they have to put the arm all the way here. I don't need a huge space to shoot through, all I need is a really small space to shoot through to get my shot. So shoot through, bang, right there, and then I'm in my single. That was the reverse wrist setup. Elbow off.
Say it again.
Elbow off. Okay, so another technique from the collar tie clear I want to focus on is the elbow off, and we're going to use this a lot. We're setting up our shots a little later on in the other DVDs. So up next is collar tie. I want to attack the hand, thumb on the outside. That's key right there, is having that thumb on the outside. I want to slide the elbow off and put pressure into him, and what I'm doing is giving myself open lanes to attack his legs. Okay? Key thing on this is so key, because I don't want to duck under him. I just want to slide it off. So if I put my ear to my shoulder, it creates a flat plane, Max's arm slides off. One thing kids don't do is they don't move their neck, right? So they can't elbow them off, so then they feel. So as I go into all these setups and I get to the single leg, right here, if I can take the single leg up to my feet, it's going to be a lot easier than if he sprawls me out to finish on the mat. Now, I'm realistic, we're going to cover the finishes on the mat, but like I said, we want to drive to his feet and finish here first to make everything easier. So, as I shoot to my single leg, my head, hips, knee are all over each other. I'm able to drive up really, really easy. Now, this is my mid-level finishing position. There's a lot of important things going on right here that people don't do. So, let's go through all the important things that are going on right here. Number one, heads up in his chest. Okay? What this is allowing me to do is keep his weight off me. If my head goes low, his chest comes down. Now I'm dealing with all of his weight. So I need my head to stay up and keep his chest up and keep the weight off me. Number two, my feet are like his and my leg is acting as a table right here. Okay? So what that does is it doesn't allow him to bring this leg back up. Now, what a lot of people do, and the big mistake I see, is they have my feet facing his, and what that allows me to do is yank that leg back, boom, put the weight on me, and now I'm straining under his sprawl. Here, feet are the same, and my legs act as a table for his leg. Can't get the weight on me here, can't put the weight on me here. The last thing I do is I'm putting weight on his thigh. What that's doing is keeping that foot heavy. So as if I've got no weight on him, he can hop around nice and easy. As I put the weight down, now it becomes really laborsome for him to move him around. So that's my mid-level finishing position. There was a lot of important things going on there. The three key things are head in the chest, feet like his, shoulder pressure on his hip. Now, once I get there, I'm always looking to take the foot high in the air. As I shoot, I drive up to my good finishing position. I'm always looking to take the foot up here. Okay, so remember I got this locked in nice. Watch how I go up there again. So from here I drive in to get his pressure off me. Drive in, I step back, I slide down, I bring it up high. Once we get here, there's very few wrestlers who are in Max's position who can stop me from scoring on them. Not that many people with really good balance. So once I get here, I got 90 something, 96, 97% finishing rate. Once again, I'm looking to go high with the leg. Shoot, drive in, good middle position, heads up, feet are good, slide down, bring it up. now, there are a couple ways he can stop me from bringing the leg up high where I want it. Number one way is a whizzer. So, I get in here, he puts his whizzer in. So what I want to do here, so remember the feet are all in line, that's so important. Heads up so you can't put that much pressure. I want to take a baby step with the middle leg, so there's 3 of them, middle one. And then all I do is sit him back and it's going to make him fall right to his butt. Right there, pressure down, he falls on his butt. So this is the one way he can stop, or one of 2 ways he can stop me from bringing the leg high. But what I'm doing is I'm taking that away from him. So he's got this pressure on the whizzer, I'm not going to be able to take it high. So what I do is I get my head in, small step, sit him down with his butt. Right there. So that's going to take that defense away from him. The other thing he can do to stop him from bringing the leg high is take his leg on the outside. So as he does that. Now I'm going to battle with him here for a little bit. I'm going to try to keep stepping around and get it where I want him. And sometimes I'll be able to get it back where I want it. If he's really good there, what I need to do is get this knee in my armpit so I need to rip it up right there. Now from there, so I get it this high, it's an easy trip finish. Put him on his back. Those are Max's 2 really good defenses to keep me from bringing the leg up high, the whizzer, and then putting the leg on the outside so I can stop both of them. The last thing we got to talk about is if we somehow get out of position, don't have our head in the chest, he's leaning really hard, and I just can't sit him back because his pressure's too far forward with the whizzer. So I get right here, and he's just leaning too far. I can't sit him back with the whizzer. What I do is I step out and go for a limp arm. So I step back, grab the shoelaces, right there, limp him forward. I got my takedown. One more time. So Max was able to get all his weight forward. I couldn't keep my head in there. I can't sit him, obviously, from this position. So I'm going to go to the shoelaces right here. Shoelaces, limp, finish my takedown. That was my mid-level finish position. I feel like it's a position I really excelled at. It's allowed me to score a super high percentage of single leg takedowns. Once I get on the leg, I'm really good at scoring there. Now we talked about our mid-level position, and what we want to do from there is go mid-level, high level. I want to get that leg up top and be able to finish from there. So once we get it up there, so once I get his leg all the way up top, like I said, against most guys, it's pretty simple to score because they just don't have great balance here. So I'm going to give you 3 really easy finishes from here. So number one thing I'm looking at, I want to grab the back of the neck right there. I want to step in, grab. Okay? So really controlling the neck here. Boom, trip, right there. Okay? Second one I can do, I can push either the armpit or the knee forward and then drop down to both knees. So push that forward, drop down, attack both knees, drive them down to the mat. Here, I can also push the knee down, drop down, attack both knees. Okay, the third thing I can do, I can uppercut the knee and sweep his foot out. So I'm going to uppercut the knee, sweep the foot out. So I'm going to bring this real hard. Right there, put him down. The mistake I see people make like this is the rhythm, and they don't step in. So obviously, if I'm a soccer player trying to kick a ball, I wouldn't kick a ball like that. So as I said, I got to step in. So I'm sweeping that foot out real easy. I got to lift him up. Obviously, his foot, I can kick his foot as hard as I want. It's not going to move unless it's off the mat, so I can kick him right there. He probably doesn't like that, but it's not going to move. So I uppercut this, boom, and put him down like that. The one mistake, or the biggest mistake, I see kids make when they get a leg high, is doing the forward trips. So with all the scrambling, obviously we'll talk about the Funky Fresh DVDs later, all this going to happen is if I go forward trip, it allows Max to grab the leg and roll so easy to a position that's going to be advantageous for him. So the biggest mistake I see in the high single position is people trying to trip forward. I really don't like that. I'd like to stick with those more simple basic finishes that work. Now we talked about we want to shoot the single, bring it up high, get it up high, make the finish easy. I know that's not totally realistic, so we got to go over mat finishes too, and we want to be strong in finishing there. The worst thing we can do as a leg attacker is shoot and let him score. That's absolutely not going to work for us, because that's what we're going to make you scared of shooting, and we don't want that to happen. So as I shoot to his leg, I'm looking for a couple things. So Max shoot, he sprawls on me. Number one, I'm still looking to keep my head up and stay strong, no matter where he's at. I don't want to let it get on top of me and drive my head into the mat right there. This is going to be a bad position. So even if he's got all his weight on me, I'm still trying to keep my head up strong. Now, from this mat position, I have 2 series that start differently, but they work the exact same. Okay, so you're just going to pick which one you're more comfortable with, but they have the same 3 finishes roughly. So as I'm here, the first one is I lock my hands as he sprawled on me, right? Pull them in, okay, and go from here. The other one is I put my hand out, I post it, he sprawled me, I step and slide, and then I go from there. So they start different, they end exactly the same. So all the finishes I'm going to show, they apply to both the step and slide and the lock and pull. All finishes apply to both. Okay? So we got to look at him. So we got to look at him. I've got 3 ways to go. We can go around him, this way, or through the middle. Okay, so we have 3 directions to go. The problem with most kids is they really only focus on one direction. So for example, one thing I see happen a lot in high school and youth wrestling is this kid only knows one move, and that's how to run the corner that way, right? So if I sprawl like this, he's gonna try to run the corner, okay? And this is gonna happen. He's never gonna get there from sprawling. But the problem with this scenario is, as he's here, if all he did was a simple cutback, right there, boom, he would finish me really easily. So then once the kid's been, used to defending that way, if you cut back, it's a really simple finish. So we got to be able to finish all 3 ways. So here we go. Number 1 way to finish, a cut back, or run the corner. So what I'm looking to do is plant my elbow back behind his shin right there, run the corner, shelf it up, finish. So the whole key to this is being able to plant my elbow back here so his hips stop moving. So I plant my elbow right there. Now what that forces his hips to do is stop. Okay? If I just have my hand on the mat, he can keep on circling all day long. Elbow plants, run the back side, pull this up. This is my shelf right here. Pull this up to my shelf. Finish the leg attack. So that's the first way of finishing, is running in the back corner. We can do that from the post step and slide, or locking and pulling. Okay. Second way I like to finish is cutting the corner out here. So I'm right there, Max is sprawled kind of incorrectly, I step up, slide, boom, and there's my cutback finish. Now, I do this one mainly because people are doing that incorrect sprawl. So what I mean by that is, he's on the single leg, they're sprawling with one hip in, one hip open. So what that allows Max to do is slide here, pop the head up, dump me back to my butt for his cutback finish. Even at the higher levels of wrestling, I see people sprawling incorrectly and giving me that score all the time. Okay, the third scenario we're going through is coming through the middle, and we got a few finishes when we come through the middle. So, as he sprawled on me, I post, sit through. Now, as I sit through, the key to sitting through is keeping my shoulders above my hips. If I let my shoulders get behind my hips, I'm going to be in all kinds of trouble there and not be able to hold them up. I'm not strong like that, so shoulders above the hips. First finish, just push off right there, double leg. Okay, so all I'm doing, pushing the leg off, roll my head under, double leg finish. Sit right there, push it off, finished up. Okay? Next finish from the middle, now I'm just going to spin all the way through. Sit right there. Bring this hand through the middle, shoelaces, right there. Now, we're in the shelf position we were when we ran the corner. Lock and finish that. Okay? Now, the last finish, this finish is worth the price of the DVD alone. It's something that Max and I kind of created when we were in college, and it's a total scramble stopper. And you'll see as the DVDs go on, we use this move a lot. We call it the answer. As I sit through, I attack 2 hands on one leg, pull it in front, sit in it, hook it. Now, all I gotta do is get this leg off my head so I can attack shoelaces or attack knee, push it off, come up. Lots of times then I end up in the Turk position. So I'm gonna show you that answer one more time. Really, really, really important finish if you're gonna get to the high level of wrestling, because so many people are getting good at scrambling, you wanna be able to deal with them. Sit the middle, attack the ankle, pull it in right there, drop my hips, hook it. Now, the one mistake I see even high-level college wrestlers make is they don't clear this before they come to their knees. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to clear this. Once I clear that, I come to my knees. If, before I clear this foot, I come up to my knees, it's going to allow Max to sit up and hang on. Right there. Now, what I did was, I took all the pressure off his knee. There's no more pressure on Max's knee anymore. He's able to kind of move and change around me. So I gotta stay on my hips. I gotta keep this locked in really tight so Max can't move. Push it off, come up, strong to my finish right here. So like I said, that last one, that's called the answer. It's a super important finish as far as attacking the legs go. I'm gonna talk about that even more as the DVDs continue. So that was the mat finishes. I showed you 5 finishes there, 3 different directions. I can go right, I can go left, or I can attack the middle. And it's super important to be able to attack all 3 directions. If I can only attack one, it makes it really, really easy for the defensive guy to stop me. He can use moves that don't really work if I know all 3 attacks.
Right now we're in, again, it's in scrambling and stuff like that. This guy takes a single leg on us, so a sweep, all right? So we've passed. Say this guy gets a corner on us. This is where it becomes hard for us to pass. So what we're doing, or it's sprawling, either or. But what we're gonna do here, rather than go with the traditional whizzer, which he's kind of already passed, we're gonna start grabbing our shin. All right, so we grab shin, and then after that, we want to get our foot on the inside. And it's a big key to it, and it's something that this guy, and we talked about it a little bit when we were doing our offense for this guy, but one of the worst things he can do, but one of the things he wants to do is get the corner, right? So he thinks stepping over is the best thing for him. He steps over, and he's just putting more weight on himself. All right, the further he goes behind me, the better it is for me. So if he steps over, great. If he doesn't, and he's back here, I want to put my own foot in. All right, once my foot's in, now I'm going to turn the shoulder that has the shin wizard to the ground. So here, all right, getting that weight on him. So here, putting weight on, we can stalemate it. I'd prefer not to, just because that's my nature, and that's what we do with scrambling. So a couple options that we have here is once he comes shin wizard here, if he's trying to finish, and he tries to pull it up, here, he gets loose, I can let go of the shin wizard and kick out, and come out of it, is one option. It's not really terribly technical, it's just once he starts opening his lock and starts trying to pressure back into me to fight this.
A single leg that I became really effective with in college was the high single. So high single is just not hitting any other singles. So all I did right here, boom, step to my single leg. Okay. Why I really like this is there's not a lot of danger. If I, especially for upper weights, so I was 174, I'm getting kind of towards the upper weights. If I shoot underneath him, I got a lot of weight to deal with as I'm shooting. If I can stay up, so right here, even if he sprawls on me and I don't like it, I can just let it go, come back to say an underhook position and be totally safe. So it's the same exact finishes. So all I'm doing right here, drive it up, that's our mid-level position. Bring it high, that's our held position. So we've already talked about all those finishes earlier in this DVD. I just want to show you a few different setups that I'd like to get here. So the first one I became really effective with as a junior and senior in college, I call the wrist lead setup. So all I do is stick my wrist out, naturally he grabs it, okay? Sometimes I'll be teaching seminars and I'll say, listen, this is my favorite setup. I'm gonna stick my wrist out, you're gonna grab it, I'm gonna score on you. And they'll be like, ha ha ha, yeah right. 10 minutes later we're wrestling live, I stick my wrist out, they grab it, and I score on them. Okay? That's how effective it is. It's just human nature to grab a wrist that's stuck out in front of you. Once again, I stick it out, he grabs it, I grab it. Now, as I rip it away, there's two things. I'm gonna pull him into me, I'm gonna step into him. Notice my head just drops into the chest, which is the perfect position I want it in anyways. Slide to my good middle finish, and I can go there. So one more time, it's the wrist lead, okay? The most important thing you have to pay attention to, all I'm doing is dropping my head right into his chest. Everyone thinks you do some fancy stuff, the head under, put it behind. All I'm doing is dropping my ear onto his chest. So as I go here, drop the ear onto the chest, and I'm scoring. Okay? The other setup that I was super effective with was just a simple snap and grab. And we kind of talked about the snap, but I would do both positions, so I'd be posting on him a little bit. I would snap him, and then I would just step right to it, okay? Go into my finishes. So kind of playing around with those posts, playing around with the post, I'd snap him, and then I would just explode, step right to my single leg. Now the reason I favor the high single leg, I said, especially for upper weights, is there's really no danger. If I'm not able to get his leg, there's no danger. Now if I got to shoot underneath him, now there's going to be some danger in me getting scored on with this for headlocks or other stuff. The high single allows you to take a lot of attacks and still be really safe.
All right, guys. Talking about low singles now. I mean, first, I think that the main thing to go over is the position you want to end up in, because that's the most important thing. So getting to it is kind of secondary. But if you're not getting in the right position once you're there, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. So for me, the hand that's attacking, so whichever way you're going, it's the outside hand that's going to be attacking, and we want our forearm on the ground and our hand wrapped right around the heel. All right? A lot of people, when they attack their low singles, end up putting their head through, and it's a mistake. If you guys watch our scrambling videos later on, you can find that out. The most effective place to put our head is right at the knee. All right, we don't want to go past it, we want to have our head right there. And the reason we have it there is because we're going to block him from coming forward. So if he tries to come over top of us, you see he stopped. Whereas if we're here, all right, he can come over top, he can do a lot of different things. All right, so forearm down on the ground, hand at the heel, head in there. All right, the other hand just posted for support. I never want to put two hands on the leg. All right, so getting there, guys, you can do a lot of different things. For me, I like doing reverse wrist, and I'll fake drags on the side that I don't want, is my main attack. So I'll come here, I'll fake a drag here, so he steps back, here, and then I'll come drop low single here. And I'm just dropping knee, again, hands placed, heels wrapped, and my head's at the knee. All right, so there's one setup here, so you can either fake at the wrist, or you can fake up here, he steps back, drop it in. Misdirections are big. So he's a right leg lead, so I know he's leading here. So I'm always going to fake the lead leg. So however I move here, and come back. So all you're doing is stepping outside. So stepping outside, and coming and attacking there. And then another one I'll do is here. So if I'm ever attacking this, attacking like an outside elbow, I'm looking for a duck under. So if I'm ever coming here, he steps back. I'll come back this far side, the same thing. There's other ones that you can do. If you guys watch John Smith, you guys will see that he's just amazing at timing steps. You know, when the guy's stepping, he's attacking. That's not one of my strengths. So I'm not going to show that, but go watch him on YouTube. A couple finishes from here, guys. Main one is here. You're attacking. Again, if you can't come over top, all we're going to do is put a hand on the side clothesline, and we're just going to run it down. Come over top. So in good position, dropping in, knee, everything's down, attacking, and just running it down, over top. Another finish that I like to use is when this guy here puts a lot of weight on his leg here, so I can't score. So he knows that I'm gonna try and run around, so he puts a lot of weight here. So rather than running here, all I'm gonna do is plant this hard. All right, I'm gonna lift this heel, and I'm gonna bow my head and drop him down, and then I'll cover. So again, one more time. Here, he puts a lot of weight on this leg, so I'm trying to drive in. He's putting a lot of weight on it. I'm gonna switch off, so I'm not gonna go here anymore. I'm gonna plant. All right, I'm gonna lift this heel and drive my head down. And I'll also put both my knees on the ground. So here, attack, and finish. Other than that, a position you'll get in a lot because it's hard to keep your head on the outside. Mistakes happen, is you'll go back into our answer position, which here, if he comes over top, just coming out the back, 2 hands, hooking, and finishing there. So that's a little single for us, guys. All right, guys. So we're gonna start getting into our drills here. A big thing that I think that is the most, it's the most critical thing when you're getting on top and working on top. It's not exactly the move that makes it really, really effective. So like if I've got a really good half Nelson, but everyone knows it, then they can defend it. It's when I've got things that go together. For instance, like the cradle and the Turk, or you know, the cross wrist to a Turk, or.
So this last drill, it's kind of a drill, kind of live. You can kind of take it at a lot of different levels, but this is really, really important, and I can honestly say it's one of my keys to the success of how good my leg attacks are. So one thing we would do a lot, Max and I, and we would not just do single legs with all shots, but obviously we'll talk about single legs, is I get to shoot on him, and then once I actually get to the shot, now he defends me. Now what that's going to allow you to do is get a lot of practice finishing shots. So I'll go ahead and shoot, boom, and then once I get here, now we're wrestling, and I got to really work to finish. So what that's going to do is it's going to teach kids to finish when you get to the leg, and they're not going to have to worry about getting in there. Now you can do that drill, say at 50%, so both guys, we're going 50%, we're kind of sparring, but we can do that drill live, okay, totally live, so I got practice finishing live. I would recommend doing a little bit of both, that way it gets kids, you know, 50%, maybe they just learn the moves, they can work on finishing, but the guy's not going totally balls to the wall on them, or if they go live, now they really got to do like they would do it in a match. It's a lot more opportunity, because what I see a lot of times, high school kids, especially if they know, oh, Max has got really good shot defense, I don't like shooting on him, so if you say, okay, you're wrestling a 5-minute live go. Well, if we're wrestling, and I know he's got good shot defense, this kid doesn't shoot that often, so he's not getting a lot of practice finishing shots, which is where he really needs to practice. So putting him on a leg and making him wrestle there, that's forcing him to be in a position he doesn't want to be in, and he's going to make him a lot better at that. So that is something Max and I did a lot, and that's really, if you see us shoot, we finish a lot of the shots we get to because we're good at getting to our, once we get to that, we're really good at scoring. Now, on the flip side of that, another drill we can do is, it's a totally live go until I get to the leg, and then it's easy. So what we'll do is, we call this one hard in, easy out. So if I get a lock, so it's totally live wrestling, if I get a lock on Max's leg, now he's going to let me finish. Boom, and I just finish easy. So it's totally live before that, so Max is going to totally not let me get to his legs, but if I do get there, he's got to let me score. That drill is really, really, really good if you have kids that struggle to get to legs. Maybe sometimes you have kids who are good at scoring once they get there, but they're not good at shooting to the legs. So what that drill is going to allow them to do is allow them getting practice getting to the legs, because they're already good when they get there, so you've got to get them to the legs. So they have to focus on their setups and their movement in order to get to those scores. So those last two drills, the easy in, hard out, and hard in, easy out, are two super important drills at being able to score on good leg attacks. Here's a few drills you can do just to get the kids' legs in shape, get them used to getting that penetration position. So first one we did a lot in college, which is a toe touch drill. So what I need to get my stance, I'm just gonna step, touch the toe, step, touch the toe. And what that's replicating is the first step of our penetration. Because before I shoot a single leg, I step, get a little lower, and then I'll follow that with a shot. The toe touch drill is just getting repetition on that first step of the shot. So all I'm doing, step, touch the toe, step, touch the toe. Notice how I'm making nice small movements. I'm not coming way in, way out, not standing up out of my stance. I'm just touching the toe, touching the toe. Boom. So I'll go maybe 30 seconds, the max will go 30 seconds. And we can switch back and forth. Another good way, early season drill, get the kids' bodies in shape and get them replicating that first step of the penetration. Two more drills just to get the kids really flowing into their single legs. The first one's a scarecrow drill, so you have to stand up like a scarecrow. And all I'm doing is practice shooting without a step, so I'm just getting a lot of repetition on my shot. So I'll do, boom, okay, right there. So what I'm really focused on, making sure the kids are ending in a good, strong position as they shoot. Come back up, come back up. So what that's going to allow the kids to do is they're going to get 12, 15, 20 shots in a minute. It's going to allow them to get a lot of repetitions in a short amount of time. You just got to make sure they're doing the right techniques. Okay. Another drill on that same level, it's just the same thing with no hands. This is going to teach kids really good balance. So all I'm going to do is put my hands behind my back, and I'm going to stand like a scarecrow, I'm going to step, shoot, and then I'm just going to finish by driving up, driving into it. So I'm doing all this with no hands. It's going to help build balance, core strength. So right here, single leg, drive. Single leg, drive. Okay, so that's another really good drill where kids can get a lot of reps, practice that motion, get their balance.